I knew who I was this morning, but I've changed a few times since then. Everyone always says you have to be strong and have a stiff upper lip, but it's okay to be fragile. One of the deep secrets of life is that all that is really worth the doing is what we do for others. You would have to be half mad to dream me up. Why, there's hardly enough of me left to make any respectable person. If everybody minded their own business, the world would go around a great deal faster than it does. Alice had got so much into the way of expecting nothing but out-of-the-way things to happen, that it seemed quite dull and stupid for life to go on in the common way. When I used to read fairy tales, I fancied that kind of thing never happened, and now here I am in the middle of one. I don't know the meaning of half those long words, and, what's more, I don't believe you do either. If you knew time as well as I do, said the Hatter, you wouldn't talk about wasting it. Begin at the beginning, the king said, very gravely, and go on till you come to the end, then stop. I know who I was when I got up this morning, but I think I must have been changed several times since then. He was part of my dream, of course, but then I was part of his dream, too. You're thinking about something, my dear, and that makes you forget to talk. I can't tell you just now what the moral of that is, but I shall remember it in a bit. If the world has absolutely no sense, who's stopping us from inventing one? When she thought it over afterwards, it occurred to her that she ought to have wondered at this, but at the time it all seemed quite natural. They're dreadfully fond of beheading people here. The great wonder is that there's anyone left alive. And what is the use of a book, thought Alice, without pictures or conversation? That's the reason they're called lessons, the Griffin remarked, because they lesson from day to day. Have I gone mad? I'm afraid so, but let me tell you something, the best people usually are. Contrariwise, if it was so, it might be, and if it were so, it would be, but as it isn't, it ain't. That's logic. Why, sometimes I've believed as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast. You're mad, bonkers, completely off your head. But I'll tell you a secret. All the best people are. It's no use going back to yesterday, because I was a different person then. She generally gave herself very good advice, though she very seldom followed it. I don't think. Then you shouldn't talk, said the Hatter. I have seen so many extraordinary things, nothing seems extraordinary anymore. I'm afraid I can't explain myself, sir. Because I am not myself, you see? How puzzling all these changes are. I'm never sure what I'm going to be, from one minute to another. In another moment down went Alice after it, never once considering how in the world she was to get out again. Shall I never get any older than I am now? That'll be a comfort, one way, never to be an old woman, but then, always to have lessons to learn. Who am I then? Tell me that first, and then, if I like being that person, I'll come up, if not, I'll stay down here till I'm someone else. She sat on with closed eyes, and half believed herself in Wonderland, though she knew she had but to open them again, and all would change to dull reality. Sometimes she scolded herself so severely as to bring tears into her eyes. My dear, here we must run as fast as we can, just to stay in place. And if you wish to go anywhere you must run twice as fast as that. How long is forever? Sometimes, just 1 second. Who in the world am I? Ah, that's the great puzzle. No wise fish would go anywhere without a porpoise. Well, I never heard it before, but it sounds uncommon nonsense. If you don't know where you are going, any road can take you there.